delegates, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I get the opportunity to speak to you. You guys are awesome. The ones who are willing to step up and lead for your communities. And I'm grateful to speak to you tonight. And so I'm going to start with, I got a couple things. Number one is I'm just going to give you the message that I've been trying to get out to folks, which is a little bit about me and why I'm running. And it all starts from a place of gratitude. So, and my gratitude stems from my experiences in life. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. I spent 15 years there as a kid, and there's millions of people there, and it's really hot. And if you've never been there, then you're good. It's okay. So there's a reason I don't live there anymore. There's a reason that I choose to live here, because this is a good place to live. Phoenix is, in my opinion, not a great place to live. Beyond that, beyond my childhood, I spent 5 years in the Army, 2 years in Iraq. So I've been to places where we don't want to go. I know what it looks like when things really get bad. I know what it looks like when things are kind of bad, but I know what things look like when it really goes south. And that's where my gratitude stems from. I love my country. I love this state. I love this county. And like I said, this is a good place to live. I was a lineman for Rocky Mountain Power for almost a decade. And I also got the opportunity when I worked for them to go all over the state. I've been in many different communities. I've lived in over a dozen different places. And I can tell you what a good place looks like. And what we have here is a good thing. And I'm grateful for that. And that's why I'm running for county council. So the message there is that we have to have that gratitude, and we can't just expect that everything's going to stay the same and cross our fingers and hope that everything's good without taking action and being engaged. Okay, that's why I'm here to talk to you tonight. And that brings me to the second thing, is I have a request for you guys. Being delegates, I know you guys are the ones who are willing to step up and get stuff done. So my request for you is fairly simple. Number one, you turn off the news. Okay? Turn off the news. And number two, go talk to your neighbor. When you get over to your neighbor's house, tell them to turn off the news too, because that makes the conversation much easier. Now, if your neighbor's a Republican, the job's fairly simple. I need you to tell them that we have an opportunity to put 2 Republicans on the county council. There are 5 positions, 0 of them are Republicans. So if they're Republican, then make sure that they know that county council exists. Make sure they know that they have the opportunity to get some Republican representation from the east side of the county, conservatives, and that they need to get out and vote, and that it's important. And if they want real representation, if they want their community to remain a good place to live, it takes action. And what we have here is a good thing, but it's not guaranteed. It can and will go away. All right? If they are not Republicans, if they're Democrats, I need you to engage in a conversation with them. I need you to do a little bit of finding out for me. If they are totally captured by the woke mind virus, then I'm probably not going to get their vote, and that's okay. If they are willing to have a conversation with you, which honestly, if we turned off the news, we'll find that most of them are willing to engage in a conversation with you. We will have major differences, and that's okay. But if they're willing to talk to you, then that gives me an opportunity. If they're willing to have a discussion about some of the basic fundamentals, and it really comes down to it, very least at the local issues, they care about the same things that we care about at a fundamental level. And that's, they want a good, safe community where they can raise their family and be reasonably free to pursue their happiness. Okay, we all want that. How we get there, we've got some differences. But that's where I come in, okay? That's my job. If they're willing to have that conversation, send them my way. Let's hold a town hall. Let's have a fireside. Let's have some donuts and some pancakes or whatever. Let's give them the opportunity to at least find out whether or not I'm really evil because I have an R next to my name. I think I can convince them that that's not the case. And now is the best time that it's probably been in a very long time to make that case. Why? Well, we have a distinct advantage being Republicans. That's our ideas work. And their ideas, being progressive ideas, are actively harming communities around the country right now. My opponent is a Democrat from LA. He's a Hollywood attorney. Why isn't he in LA? Well, because LA sucks. Okay, so there's a reason that those blue states are losing population, literally shrinking compared to our red states, because they're coming to places like Utah and Florida and Texas, because we know what a good place looks like. Okay? So those folks that are willing to have that conversation, I need the opportunity to speak to them. You'll have an idea about if they're, how willing they are to have that conversation, if they still care about things like basics like freedom of speech. That used to be a liberal pillar. It used to be the left's thing, it's freedom of speech. Unfortunately, the Democrat Party has left those people behind, so maybe they'll be open to coming on over to the Republican Party. Arms are wide open. Okay, let's have that conversation. If they still care about things like girls and women's rights, that used to be the domain of the feminists. And now that's our thing. If they still care about the rights of their little girl and the safety and comfort in the locker room over the rights of some middle-aged man with gender confusion, then hey, let's have that conversation. Okay? Thank you. These are the issues that matter. These are the issues that we feel, the local ones. All these candidates that are wanting to go to Washington D.C. They're important and they're cool and all that, but they're going to do their thing no matter what. And the local issues are the ones that you're going to feel. They're the ones that when you go and talk to your friends and your neighbors, these are the issues that you're talking about. These are the ones that you feel at the school, at church, at the grocery store. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I need your guys' help. And we have the opportunity to have some real representation for Eastern, rural Summit County and conservatives. And I need you to go out and find those reasonable people, and let's have a conversation, and let's get some representation at the county. Tori Welch at SummitCountyCouncil.com. It's TORYWELCH. And go to my Facebook page and share it, and let's get the word out, and let's return Summit County to sanity. Thank you.
Thank you for staying. It's very impressive. You've done a great job applauding all the candidates. And you know who hasn't gotten applause yet? Melanie. Can you all give her a round of applause? She's done a great job. Thank you for being here. My name's Ari Andes. I'm running for Summit County Council seat. And I'm running to give a voice for those in our community who feel disenfranchised, who feel like they don't have a voice on the county council. When I was driving down here from Tollgate, I know what county I'm in, I was noticing the snow was melting, right? But that's not the only thing that's melting. I went to the Democratic convention last week, not because I'm a rhino, because I wanted to see what they were talking about. Y'all know what they were talking about? Any idea? They stood up on stage and were bragging about how there wasn't one Republican elected official in our county, not just on the county council, but nowhere in the county has a Republican holding a seat right now who's running a Republican. That's melting, starting tonight. And you've got to help me do that. How are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to tell you a little story. I've been in Park City for about 18 years. I've worked on the Park City Education Foundation. I was on the executive committee. I was president of the Board of Recycling Utah. I worked with Summit County Power Works to put a solar panel initiative here in Summit County. I was executive director of a performing arts group, Park City Institute. Hope you guys know the show. I started a nonprofit that gave inner city students the ability to learn how to code, 1 million of them. So when I stood up at Rotary and said I was a Republican running for office, they were shocked. What do you mean? You love the environment? You love kids? You created open space? You started an inner city program? And actually you're a pretty nice guy. How could you possibly be a Republican? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a Republican looks like. Because we use private money to do what government is trying to do. And that's what I've done all my career. If you send me to the Summit County Council, that's what I'll do. Now, I've been going around the county talking to people, and they've been telling me what worries them, what's important to them. When I talk to the mayors in the independent towns that are on the east side, they say they want to make sure that any development that's on the borders of their towns matches their development codes and meets the needs of their community. When I talk to the people in Snyderville Basin, they say okay? We want development that affects the people who already live here, that benefits us. We don't want people coming in here and adding sprawl and more traffic to what we already have, right? And while we're talking about that, I'm a tech entrepreneur. I ran a company that wrote software for local government, so I know a little thing about local government. When they set aside that land for tech park, I'll tell you something with tech entrepreneurs all over this country are used to. We're used to cities and towns rolling out the red carpet. We're used to people giving us tax incentives. We're used to incentives to come in. We're not used to people coming in and saying, hey, we want a tech park here. You've got to build affordable housing. I'm not in the affordable housing business. I don't even know how to build affordable housing. I'm in the tech business. You're not going to have a tech center here when folks are fighting to come here. They'll go to places like Austin or down the hill. That was a mistake from the beginning. Anyway, I also want to say that, I've heard from other folks in this town, I've heard from young parents. They want affordable care options for their students. I've heard from generational landowners who want to make sure their kids can grow up here. I've heard from teachers, firefighters, and first responders who want to live in our communities. You know, less than 1% of our firefighters live in our communities. And that's hard. We need to fix that. So, some of the counties in our area are doing a great job. So do you want to hear what I care about?
Yes.
Thank you. I care about small government that works and prioritizes the needs of our community over feel-good initiatives. I care that when somebody says they're going to tax me, or we vote to tax for open space, that open space is actually in areas that are close to where development's happening, not far off. And that open space isn't where you're going to build affordable housing. Does that upset anybody here? I want to make sure that our taxes stay low and that we listen. I have listened to people. I want to listen to you. I will do what's right, and I'll hold back the Democrats that are in this area. We will melt this logjam once and for all, and then I'll open the door for other Republicans. We'll do a couple things. How many people feel like it's time for a North Summit County Council seat? How does that sound? How many people feel like there should be a South Summit County Council seat? How many people feel like they can have one here in Sangerville Basin, in Park City, and two at large? What's going to happen then? I'll work to make sure that happens. So I need your help. And I did say I wanted to listen, so pull out your phones. Come on, pull out. Pull out your phone. Go to your contacts and add a contact. I'm going to do what no other political candidate did today. I'm going to give you my cell number because I want to hear from you. Ready? 435